Hey, gorgeous people. Hope you're having a great Friday. Relationships with others. This is one of the trickiest subjects I think that we have as human beings. And a lot of this is just naturally we have different preferences, we have different desires. And I think there's that innate struggle internally to want to be loved, to want to be accepted, to belong, to fit in, and also to be living life on our own terms and have that sense of freedom, that sense of feeling like we can step into and live a life that's really congruent and within integrity for ourselves as well. Hey, Christy, great to have you on, darling. And I think that this is one of the biggest challenges that we can really experience. And as many of you know, if you've followed me for some time or you've kind of been checking me out from the perspective of, what's she on about, you know that I will talk about this quite relentlessly, because I do believe, hey Wayne, great to have you on, I do believe that every single one of our relationships is reflective of our relationship with ourselves. And when we can truly get the gift that relationships truly are, and we come about it from the perspective, from the highest perspective of what is this here to teach me, what is this here to show me, who is it that I'm actually expressing, or how am I actually expressing myself within this relationship. Hey Bet, great to have you on, honey. Then we can really start to, I guess, learn and discern what is the deeper lesson that's actually going on in this particular relationship, in order to heal an aspect of self. And this is the gift. And I think there's a lot of frustration, a lot of irritation or agitation that actually happens in relationships, because what happens is we get frustrated with somebody else's behavior or what somebody is or isn't doing. And from this sense, then now we're hooked into who somebody else should be or shouldn't be, or what they're doing or not doing. And we've totally lost focus of the whole name of the game, which is, who is it that I am, and how do I choose to express myself relative to this circumstance, this person, this situation. And that's where we actually, when we lose sight of the purpose of relationships, then we really can get lost in, well, they're not giving this to me, or they're not giving that. And then we try and I guess create change from a place of controlling another's behavior. And it will always throw you off track, guys. It will, like, every single time I'm off track in my relationships or I'm having challenges, it's because I'm more focused on who somebody else is being, or what their behavior is, or what they're doing, or what they should or shouldn't be doing. I'm messing with their business. It's none of my business. That's not my need to be in there. I'm meddling with their stuff, just as the same as we get irritated if somebody's in our stuff and somebody's trying to micromanage us or try and have us be a particular way. Hey Jan, great to have you on. Hey Sarah, lovely to have you on. And Denise. And if anybody's got any questions around this, please feel free to jump in, and I'm more than happy to kind of bounce some things off you guys, because we forget that we create our experiences through attraction. So you cannot push back hard enough against something. So the harder that you push against something, somebody's controlling me. And I used to have this, this was a huge learning curve for me, because I, at one point in my life, felt very controlled, and felt like it didn't matter what I did, I needed to follow suit, and I needed to do exactly what this person was saying. I felt very threatened if I didn't do that. And it was really challenging for me on lots of levels. So I would push back against that, and I would be thinking to myself, this person needs to be different. This person shouldn't be so controlling. This person should change their behavior. This person should let me be free. No, what I didn't realize, that I couldn't push back hard enough. I had to change my focus to, what is it that I do want? Oh my goodness, I'm looking for more freedom. I'm wanting to experience a more supportive relationship. I'm wanting to experience more love within myself. And every single thing that you're projecting onto somebody else, or you're saying somebody else should or shouldn't be, I can promise is your own rule, and therefore your own medicine for yourself. And this is where we truly trip ourselves up, is because we're walking around advising or telling other people that they should be different in this way, or this way. When are we actually living in congruency, like true congruency, not being incongruent, but living from a place of congruency and integrity in that way for ourselves. And if, we've not been that way in the past, then it's unreasonable, it's unlikely to expect somebody else to do that for us. Placing expectations in relationships, placing needs within relationships will always, every time, leave you feeling frustrated, let down, and just annoyed. Because it's, to place that expectation on somebody else, how you feel if somebody's expecting something from you. Now it's a pressure, now it's a burden, now it feels like, I'm obligated to do this thing that they want me to do. And I will always, always teach coming back to self. And it's a tricky thing, because as a society, we're taught, take care of others, be kind to others. And there's nothing wrong with all of that, but you cannot do that if you can't do that for others until you've actually learned how to do that for yourself first. Hey Leonie, hey Chris, great to have you on. Hey Dee, big love to you, gorgeous, from overseas. So it really is this coming back to self as well, where we've got to really let everybody else off the hook. And it sounds funny to say that, because it's like, no, they really should be kinder, or they really should be more compassionate, or they really shouldn't be so rude. And in the moment that you're telling somebody else that they need to be that way, or you're thinking that, you're pushing up and you're attracting more of that from that person. The moment you've got your eyes on somebody being rude, or somebody being lazy, or somebody not being the way that you want them to be, you focus more on what you don't want. And whatever you focus on, guys, is what you're pulling towards you, what you're attracting more of. And this is why, like, sometimes, even as a parent, if we're feeling, our child's not clean enough, or like they're not tidying up enough against themselves, you cannot look at that and attract what it is that you want. You've got to take your eyes off it and think about what it is that you do want moving forward, but not from a place of control. And you may say the same things to your child or to another person. Bless Dee, that's awesome. I just felt really called actually to speak about this. So hey Max, lovely to have you on. Hey Anne. And it's tricky as a parent, because you cannot get there from trying to control a child. I tried for years. It doesn't work. I'll give you the heads up. My girls are 18 and 17 now. And it's always been about when something's bugging me or I can't get my eyes off it, it's about what I don't like about me, or what bugs me the most about me. And I will always come back to doing the Byron Katie work, which I've talked about again and again. But for your reference, if you're only just jumping on or you haven't heard me speak about this before, hey Paul, lovely to have you on. The website is just www.thework.com. It's super easy. Jump on there, download the resources, judge your neighbor, or one belief at the time, and start to answer those questions for yourself. The judge your neighbor one is particularly helpful if you're bugged by somebody else's behavior, because it will help you to see where that reflection is within yourself. And it takes a depth of dropping the ego around this, because quite often it is the ego that's pushing against. And anytime that you're experiencing the need to justify, defend, you're feeling either criticized or critical of another, judging self, judging others, any of those aspects is actually your ego self trying to exert itself upon somebody else, or try and control a situation simply because it's freaking out. It feels like it's going to be rejected, or it's going to be abandoned, or it won't be loved, or it's not going to be respected. Any of those things feel like a threat to the survival ego mind. Now, your heart, your soul knows you are 100% fine, 100% okay, that you are lovable, that you are worthy, that all of those things is completely okay, but you cannot create what it is that you want from looking or trying to push back against what it is that you're currently experiencing, guys. And this is true in any area of life. You cannot look at not having the money in the bank, be freaking out about not having the money in the bank, and be attracting more money. You've got to turn your head. You've got to look at, what is it that I like, love, or appreciate? What is it that I want to experience more of? What am I looking forward to? So if Dee, for example, if there's some stuff going on with the kids, it's like, I'm looking forward to a more harmonious house. I'm looking forward to a more cooperative situation. I'm looking forward to, and you will find ways, and this shifted my entire relationship with my kids. Hey Caroline, great to have you on. This shifted, hey Amanda, shifted my entire relationship with my kids, from the aspect of I'm always looking at what I'm appreciative for, what I'm grateful for, and communicating respectfully. At one point I was like, they should be more respectful. No, I should have been more respectful with me, and I should have been more respectful in the way that I was actually communicating. And I see this like so many times in lots and lots of different situations and relationships, where when we're placing that upon another, we need to do the inner work. How you treat you is how others will treat you, guys. If you are not feeling loved, it's because you're not loving yourself. If you are not feeling respected or valued or appreciated, it's because you're not taking time to value, appreciate, and respect yourself. So even asking yourself, if I fully respected myself now, what would I be doing? How would I be conducting myself? How would I feel about myself? What would I be, how would I be communicating if I fully respected and valued myself? So I truly hope that's been helpful. I'm not going to go into too much of it today. You know, we could really disappear down the rabbit warren with this, but my main points, guys, are you cannot focus on what you don't want and attract what it is that you do want. You just can't get there from there. Focusing on, you know, if you're sick or you're unwell, or like I said, you know, if the household doesn't feel like it's harmonious, where are you missing that harmony internally? Where are you getting pulled out of your natural center? And this is, you know, self-centeredness is a great thing. So many people are like, no, you shouldn't be selfish. You shouldn't be self-centered. I teach absolutely being self-centered, because if you are centered within yourself, now you're stable within your emotions, now nobody can buck your current. Nobody can pull you into a place of feeling out of control, or nobody can pull you from feeling like you're powerless, or that you can't create what it is that you want. And we attract that from other, which we focus on. And that's an important statement, so important. I want to say it again. We attract from the other which we focus on. So if you're noticing somebody's behavior is rude, or you're noticing that somebody is lazy, or in your terms, or that they're not pulling their weight, or they're not being appreciative, there's two things going on. You're either rejecting the part of you that you believe is rude, you're rejecting the part of yourself which is lazy, which of course, you know, we've judged ourselves quite harshly at times because we've been told that that's wrong, that's bad. We have to, as human beings, embrace the light and the shadow of all within. When we do that, then you can naturally choose which part of you that you wish to express in relationship to, in terms of how you're going to respond in any particular situation. For me, embracing my lazy self was actually very freeing, because I didn't allow myself to be lazy. Lazy meant, you know, any form of rest. Now, of course, we all know rest and play is essential to well-being, to great emotional and mental well-being, but just to good health as well. And so I was so scared of being lazy that I was so opposed to it that I would be triggered by anything that I kind of noticed in my I guess atmosphere or in my realm where I was experiencing that, and I would push back hard against it and think, they shouldn't be lazy, they shouldn't be. No, I shouldn't be lazy, because that was my rule. And when I freed myself from my own rule, then I got to actually rest and take care of myself at a different level as well. Hey Bruce, lovely to have you on. So this is so important, guys. Like I said, you cannot focus on that within other and get focus on that within other that you don't want and get what you do want. It really is coming back to a place of gratitude. What could I like, love, or appreciate about this person? And honestly, doing this work has created amazing miracles in my life, amazing miracles, where people that I just thought would never change in their feelings towards me or their actions towards me. And it was from a fairly removed situation in some aspects, but it felt like it was really impacting me at the time. And that particular person did a complete 360, and it was all to do, I believe, with how I was loving me and how I transformed being critical, judgmental, and really beating myself up badly, to turning around, loving, liking, and appreciating myself, being respectful in in how I felt about me, and therefore how I communicated. I gave up trying to push back and trying to control another. You cannot create what it is that you want from a place of control. You've got to look for what it is and imagine, visualize if that's not happening already. And I've certainly had that happen many times, but this is my reality. This is how they are. And, you know, our mind just grabs onto it like a dog with a bone and won't let it go at times. It's not until you shift your focus. What is it that I do want? Oh my God, how would I feel? How would I be showing up? Who would I be as a person if this was already occurring in my life? And you literally get to transform your relationships from that place. I truly hope that's been helpful to you guys. Loads of love. Hey Megan, great to have you on. I'm just finishing up. You might want to jump to the replay, darling. Have an amazing day, guys. Take care. Come back to empowering yourself, setting yourself free every single time, and showing up and being who you wish to be in a way that feels really, really good. Selfishness, self-centeredness, be centered enough in yourself to take amazing care of yourself. Give from the overflow, not from an empty bucket. Have an amazing Friday, guys. Bye. Lots of love. Bless, D. So much love to you, babe. Bye.